The Mariners Museum in Newport News, Virginia possesses a wide variety of ship models, such as the RMS Britannia seen on your screen currently, which was made by an independent builder. However, the museum also possesses a wide variety of builders' models and owners' models. For those whom are unaware as to what a builder's or owner's model is, these are models that are ordered by the shipyard that is constructing the vessel or the company that would own the vessel. These are very well detailed kits in most cases, and in the case of builder's models, they are often built before the ship is completed, whilst the owner's model is used for promotional purposes. Today I'm going to present two separate models, both of which are Japanese origin. They are both classed as owner models due to the uncertainty as to whom ordered them. These are the Tajima Maru and the Fushimi Maru. The two ships and models were owned by the Nippon Yusen Kaisha line. The NYK would produce ships that were both merchant vessels and passenger vessels, and in many cases they combined these two concepts into a single ship. These vessels were also capable of being quickly converted for war use in the event that the Imperial Japanese Navy needed them, and in the case of these two ships, they were both requisitioned and were both sunk during World War II by submarine attack. Luckily for today's community, these two ship models do not share the same fate of the ships they represent. But how exactly did they come into the Mariners Museum collection? In late April of 2021, the museum was in contact with the World Ship Society located in New York due to them possibly having information as to the origin of these two models, and it is believed that both of these models were produced by the Momayama Ship Model Manufacturing Company, which was a company that was in existence from 1912 to 1932. Mr. Momayama was an engineer at the Kawasaki Shipbuilding Company, and in 1912 he would set up his ship model company after studying various builders' models from England. During the company's 20-year existence, it would produce almost all of the models for the NYK line and the Imperial Japanese Navy. Going back to the two models in the museum, it was originally believed that they were produced by the Bassett Loke Ship Model Company, which is an English company. However, after recent information was given to the museum, this opinion has changed. Studying the two models shows that they are made of Japanese cypress wood and they are finished with Japan, which is a type of lacquer. These are materials that were used by the Momayama company. Unfortunately, there are no original records or labels of Momayama related to these models. However, based on comparing it to other models made by the company that are confirmed to be Momayama's, and based off what we have found out about his construction techniques, it is most certainly believed that these two models were Momayama's production. Now that I've discussed the most details regarding the background to these models that we have, let's move on to when they were given to the museum, and first up is Fushimi Maru. On September 29, 1941, there was a letter sent to the museum, and a snippet from it reads this. In quote, "As you will appreciate, our situation is very uncertain, and it was our desire to know what we could do with the model should it be necessary to dispose of it." End quote. This letter was sent from the NYK New York main office, which is where this model was residing, and the next month in November of 1941, the company sent the model to the museum. Of course, as we all know, less than a month after the museum receives the model, Japan attacks Pearl Harbor and the war between the United States and Japan commences. This is actually how we lead into the second model, Tajima Maru. This model would be given to the museum following the Second World War under a highly unusual set of circumstances. The NYK main offices was located in Tokyo, Japan, just outside of the Imperial Palace grounds, and it was one of the buildings that was subjected to damage during the United States bombing campaigns over the city. In 1945, after Japan surrendered and the United States occupied Tokyo, there was a highly unique find in the lobby of the building, and this was the model of the Tajima Maru. A letter from Walter K. Neal on December 20th, 1945 says this, in quote, "I've just returned from a mission with the United States Strategic Bombing Survey in Japan, where I studied the Japanese merchant shipping situation. Before leaving Tokyo, General MacArthur asked me to deliver you in person a model of a Japanese freight vessel which was formerly exhibited in the NYK building. I arranged to ship the model of the Tajima Maru to you from Oakland via rail along with USS BS equipment. I advised the Maritime Commission Public Relates section in San Francisco accordingly, and it is most likely that the model has arrived in Washington since it was to be placed in a special train car. A model of a Japanese A-type vessel built in quantity during the war would have been much more interesting. However, the idea just came at last minute, and we are unable to locate such a model. The Tajima Maru seems to be the only model in Tokyo to survive our bombing attacks. End quote. Something that might have caught your attention is the fact that General Douglas MacArthur is the one who donated the model officially, though he himself did not give it to the museum. A line of subordinating officers gave it to the museum, as he was rather busy in Japan. Ever since arriving at the museum, the models have remained largely unchanged. Every now and again, some features do need to be fixed as they begin to fall apart with age, but one of the most interesting points is the old flags were removed during 1982 for conservation, and the museum still owns these flags, while the flags on the model are reproductions. Today, both models are on display in the central model gallery, side by side, so anybody who wishes to see them can come in and see these fascinating 1/48th scale models of Tajima Maru and Fushimi Maru. Hopefully you have enjoyed the story behind these two models. If so, why not subscribe and leave a comment down below, and have a wonderful day.